Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with JamiesArtsalaCartes. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I have a fun little project. I think I say that every time, but I think this one is going to be. I found these cute little coasters on a clearance rack. So I got I paid $1 for 4 of them, and they look like this with cork on the back. But I wanted to change the fronts, so I'm going to try decoupaging a napkin to the front. But I think what I want to do, I've already peeled this one just to see if we're going to be able to put it right on there. I think I want to paint this cardboard piece right here prior to attaching anything with decoupage. I need to go get a bag so I can make a drop cloth. I'll be right back. Alright, we'll slide these to the side. As usual, this is just one big experiment. Alright. Just like to recycle these bags. And they are just right for creating that drop cloth kind of area. I don't do anything real elaborate. I just cut off the handles and then cut off the seam there at the bottom. And then split it down the words. That way there's less chance of me getting those words onto a surface that I'm working on. I'm going to actually cut this in half. And we'll start with that. Mod Podge out. Just gonna weight this thing down. I'm gonna start with 4 of these. And again, they're super easy. They peeled right off, and this has a nice little texture to it. I just don't need gobs and gobs. And when I realized that they had that cork backing, I said, oh, I can create something cool with those. I fully expect it to absorb quite a bit. But that's okay. I just want just a little bit of color to be able to peek through on these thin napkins. right, here's our paint. It's not gonna be a solid color. These look pretty good, and these might turn out okay once they fully dry. But we gotta let them dry and see where we're at. All right, step one. All right, so our coasters are dry. And I want to go ahead and start with this set. And that is where we have this shamrock napkin. We'll go ahead and cut it into 4 pieces. And then we'll go ahead and get it applied. And we are going to use our Mod Podge. And I will spray it when I'm done. But that's how we'll start. And normally I could take water and like tear it to get that rough line, but this whole quarter of the napkin will not fit all the way on one of these. I'm going to actually save, because you know you gotta save what you can. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this stripe off. It's definitely something I can use on a card. Alright, so here's our 4 pieces. We'll do something like that. We'll do each one, so each one will be a little different, which will just add to the interest. Alright. So we're just going to slather this on. Try to get all the way up to the edge. I want to cover it. I'm going to work those little ridges out. I don't want a ridge, but I do want it to be covered completely. All right. Just using broad strokes to spread it out. I'm going to go from the inside out and lay it down. It kind of helps. No wrinkles. Okay. It looks like that. We don't care about that little piece.
Right, all of our decoupage is dry, so now I'll show you how easy it is to take off this extra, which is why I waited for it to dry. I've just got an old sanding block, and you just run your block along the edge, and it just neatly creates that edge for you. If you have a little bit of fluff, that's it. It's all cleaned up. But this is like one of the easiest ways, once that Mod Podge has dried, to get that edge nice and clean. Alright, there are those. We're ready for the next step. Let me get my little desktop cleaned off and be able to move on. Alright, so we are putting our top Mod Podge on our decoupage product here. So I'm just trying to make sure I catch all the edges, because my next thing I want to do when these dry thoroughly will be to spray the tops. So I have a special spray that will tolerate, like if you put a hot cup on here so it won't stick to it kind of thing. And I'll be sure to show that can when I take all this outside to spray. But I want to put this on first, just to make sure that everything is adhered, like here on the sides, and that this will seep through that napkin, right? Because napkins are super, super thin. So this Mod Podge will actually go through and then bond to that Mod Podge there on the bottom. And I have little chunks, and all I'm doing is picking those out and then smoothing it back out. just to get the best end product possible. So pretty quick project. Really like how those shamrocks turned out. I think they turned out pretty good. So I'm just going all kinds of directions, but then that last, see how I make that last stroke just really long. And if I think I've got a piece here that I don't really want, I just spread it out. Okay. So that sanding technique really helped, right? Gave me a nice straight edge right on the edge to work with. And there they are. I'm interested to see how they'll dry. Can already see the shamrocks starting to dry. See a little bit of this background coming through. So it'll be interesting to see how they dry. I'm liking these the best so far, the Easter ones. So we'll just have to see how they dry, and we'll get ready for that next step when they are dry. That one had a little wrinkle. I think that got it. Tried to leave no brush marks. So there we go. All right, time to let it dry. Well, here we are. Here are our coasters. We have used this spray. My husband actually sprayed them for me. And we like to put those on coasters. That'll keep stuff from sticking. Like if you put a hot cup on there, it shouldn't stick. So there they are. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting!